Bye.
Rico, are you next,
Hey,
sir?
yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Awesome. Okay, I believe they were asking like they were asking a question earlier about like people's background, but they didn't say background. They didn't say ethnicity neither, but where you from? You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
I
where
don't even know if
where
that's
am I
correct.
from? I'm from my mama.
Who your people?
So originally born and raised in Dallas, Texas. I was there for over 40 years. I just recently moved to Phoenix, Arizona, to get a fresh start. And I was visited here a few times. And even though it's blazing hot in the summer, it's better than the summers in Dallas. And the weather is starting to get so nice here, which is part of the reason why I chose Arizona. So that's where I'm from.
Okay, Rico. And so without further ado, I want you to go ahead and explain to the people why you smile and what do you do that makes others smile.
I heard somebody say once that if a good life is just stacking as many good days as possible, and it's like if you take your favorite moments of any given day, like what would that look like? And what I realized is that if every day I can just do something that's fulfilling and then eat good food with people that I like, every day would be a reason to smile. Every day would be a good day. And that is in line with a lot of things in my work experience as a coach. So what I do currently is I help people to do better in their relationships because your relationships can make or break your success and happiness in life. And we don't need a science experiment to prove that. I think we have all had relationships where we were like super happy and ones that made us less happy, and that proves it. Um, what I how I got into this though was through my coaching career as a fitness coach. I got into the career as a fitness coach because I wanted to lose weight, I wanted to feel better about myself, the common reasons anybody does. And then once I did, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I want to help other people to feel this amazing and hopefully not have to figure it out with as long a time as it took me to figure it out. And so I got into coaching fitness. And to my surprise, what I loved more than fitness was coaching. What was more impressive than somebody reaching their goal weight or whatever physical goal that they had, what was more impressive were the connections that were made there. And those lifelong connections, or even if they were just for a season, it's like you see these people all the time and you have a reason to smile because you know that these relationships are mutually beneficial to help us to succeed in life. So yeah, if I could just have those kind of relationships and eat good food with people that I like by building those relationships, and now I get the opportunity to help other people to develop those relationships and maybe weed out the ones that make them smile less. Like all of our lives are happier because of these qualities within our relationships. And so, man, it's so hard to express. And the fulfillment that comes from helping people in relationships, even more so than it used to be with fitness. With fitness, people would be excited for a moment for reaching those goals, but as you know, you can always slip back into old habits. But teaching people's communication skills and teaching people more things about themselves, and then they come back and they say, Rico, what you mentored me on, or what you showed me, or what you demonstrated really helps. And I'll give you just a small example. I had a client um, who was always arguing with her girlfriend. And I came to her one day, or she came to me, and I said, maybe the next time you talk to your girlfriend, instead of just telling her how upset you are, maybe you can start a conversation this way. And she took that advice, and the very next day, she's like, "Oh my gosh, Rico, my girlfriend responded in such a completely different way. And if I had known this, we could have probably avoided so much fighting in our relationship when we clearly care about each other, but we just had this like communication problem. And so then they go off to having smiles and more date nights, and I smile because I was able to help them have a happier relationship, which translated to a happier life. And this is just really, really, really important to me because um, some of the relationships that I've ever had in my life has also been the source of the greatest pain. However, it was a real journey to not let those painful experiences take the smile away. And I know that not everybody's that lucky to always get out of that journey unscathed or without being jaded or without having trust issues. But I know one of the things that really helped me when I had some dark moments in certain relationships is remembering that those were the exceptions to the rule, right? While the relationships might at certain points in my life been the reason for really sad moments, the other reality was true is that my greatest moments and my happiest moments were with people that I cared about and they cared about me. And sometimes just by living an honest life to your purpose and communicating that well, sometimes you can be surprised at the relationships that develop. Not just the ones that you currently have, but your future ones. So, for
Mhm.
example, I got asked to officiate two of my friends' weddings, and those are some of the greatest honors in my life. Those are moments that make you smile because you develop those kind of relationships and somebody thinks of you that way. I authored a book that is all about relationships, and to share that accomplishment with people just adds to the happiness. So that's
Okay,
why I'm
okay.
just really inspired for other people to feel the same way.
Awesome. Now, what is the title of your book and how can people connect with you?
The title of the book, The Power of Pact, Pact, in Attracting Authentic Relationships. You can get it wherever books are sold. Amazon's usually where most people go. You can also find me on my website, attractandimpact.com. But if you would like to message me directly, Coach Rico Armstrong on Instagram is where I live most of the time.
Coach Rico Armstrong. Thank you so much for gracing us with your smiles and how you help others to smile. And I think one of the things that we're doing here, because individuals had given an acronym, and I think tonight's acronym that I'm going to give is we are all sharing moments in love and empowerment. That is my acronym for us tonight. And I thank you so much for being here. And um, let's see. I know I have someone else coming up, but just before you leave, just let people know how they connect with you one more time, and we're going to go ahead and move to Joy.
Absolutely. Coach Rico
Coach.
Armstrong on Instagram is the best way
Yes.
to reach me. Attractandimpact.com is the website.
Beautiful. I appreciate you. Enjoy your
Thank
evening.
you.